YouTubers, and welcome to part 2 of things I like and don't like about Airsoft. This episode is going to be things I don't like about Airsoft. Now, as passionate as I've been about Airsoft guns themselves in my poor quality, low budget episodes, I have talked about quite a bit of things. And I've talked about a lot of stuff that is positive. And you'd think, Jesse, where would the negativity be in Airsoft? But I can tell you there's quite a bit. There are two sides to every coin, so let's just jump right into it. The things I don't like about Airsoft. Now, wow, I'm not going to have a lot of points, but I'm going to explain quite a bit about why these points are so sucky for Airsoft. One being availability. A lot in Japan or overseas in Taiwan and China, Airsoft is a very prevalent thing. While it is heavily regulated and everything, it is very prevalent. It's everywhere. You could go down to the corner store and buy an airsoft gun overseas, and even in England and over in Scotland, if you've seen a lot of those videos, you can go over and buy a gun for half the price of what we're paying over here. So, since Airsoft is relatively new to the United States, considering it's a younger action sports game to begin with, the guns can be sometimes overpriced over here. I've seen prices for some guns go as low as $25, and I'm paying $100 for one. So, I mean, there's that. So, you really have to understand that, yes, the market is different here for Airsoft. It's just not as available here in the United States. There's not a lot of Airsoft stores, considering. There's not one on, in every town, several in every town. It's not as competitive of a market here. Considering that we have the internet, there really isn't a need for a lot of stores. With that being said, it's not as available. Whereas I can go online and go to several different foreign stores and buy all kinds of things for decent prices and competitive prices, the shipping goes up. So, relatively, you lose either way. If you want to buy a gun that for $25 overseas, you're going to be paying just as much in shipping and, all that stuff in customs as you will buying it at the corner store or going online to eBike or Airsplat or Airsoft GI or Red Wolf and doing the same thing. So relatively, it is all relative. I mean, it's a catch-22. You buy a cheap gun and pay a buttload for shipping, or you buy an expensive gun and pay a cheap amount for shipping. So, I mean, really, when it comes down to it, it's just as even, unless you live overseas in either Europe or in the Asian provinces that do have these available. So that's the first thing I hate about Airsoft. The second thing I hate about Airsoft is sometimes the community can be full of douchebags. That being said, a lot of the Airsoft players I played with and had fun with can be very nice, very accommodating, and very neighborly guys. And gals, for that matter. It's a game for everybody. It's meant for everybody. All ages can play as long as they're, of course, with a guardian that knows what they're doing in the game to ensure their safety. But that being said, there are some guys in the Airsoft community that can take themselves too seriously. As you know, I do work at a local Airsoft arena, and I have met all kinds. I've, of course, met a lot of really nice guys and a lot of nice gals that just want to be there to have fun. It's an action sport. It's a sport to have fun. You can be competitive. You can have a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, attitude is, of course, the choice. And like I said, there are two sides to every coin. There are some people that will come in there, wanting to have fun, of course, but will get a little too competitive or act like a jerk or just act like a total b-hole to everybody. I've ran into quite a few of them that take themselves way too seriously. And as you know, as you can tell, I'm a pretty laid-back guy. I don't like people that take themselves too seriously. If you're going to take yourself seriously, join the military. I joined the military. I have a lot of friends that join the military, and they have plenty of fun playing the game. But then you have these civilian guys, or even sometimes, in rare cases, ex-military guys that take themselves way too seriously. They play the game like it's life or death, and and it's good to have that kind of thing where you understand that if these were real firearms, it would be life or death. But that's for a different style of game. You're going to play that for more, urban combat, safety training. But this is a game where everyone's willing to play. They'll get mad because there are too many kids on the field, or they're getting shot too much, or oh yeah, this is an AK-47 and it's blah 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 blah, custom this and the real steel version. No one wants to hear that, guys. Let's just be honest. Be honest with yourself. Would you want some jerkhole running around acting like they're the cock on the walk, acting arrogant, like they know everything? My friends Erlene and all the others that do own the Airsoft arena, they know quite a bit about guns because a lot of them were in the military, and they do own the real steel versions of many of the Airsoft guns that you do see on the field, and they say that there are a lot of arrogant kids that can act like total dicks on the field. It's not good to have people act like that. You ruin it for everybody else when you do act like that. So use a little courtesy and don't take yourself too seriously. If you're gonna tell me about guns, become a gun expert. Until then, don't talk to me because I don't want to hear your spiel on how you know everything and everybody else is just as stupid or they're too young to be playing or you don't play with 12-year-olds. Because many of the times when I've been playing or I've been watching, a lot of the teams that do take things too seriously do get whooped by the people that don't, or they're just to have fun. That's the problem with Airsoft, is that unfortunately, a lot of people do take themselves too seriously, and the vast majority of the players can be jerks and can treat other people like crap simply because of their age or because of their experience. And as you know, a lot of people can be that way, and that's, a lot of people say, well, that's just the world. Well, why should it be? Why does it have to be like that? You don't just take things as they are with a grain of salt. I'm sorry, that's not how I roll. I would want people to treat me just as good as I would treat them, and I wouldn't want somebody running around and acting like a jerk, with a bad attitude. You're there to have fun. Don't ruin the experience for everybody else. I've come very close to having to eject people simply because they were being completely rude to everybody, and they started just blowing up on people. I explained to them that, look, we're here to have fun. If you ruin it for everybody, I will eject you from the game and you will not play the rest of the night. So that being said, there can be a lot of total tool bags in the game, so try to avoid those guys, and if they are being mean, just, kind of put on a happy face, have fun, because, they're not impressing anybody, they're not going to make any friends that way. So if you are going to be serious, join the military, take it serious there, but when you're playing Airsoft, please, for the love of all that is holy, just stop with the seriousness. It's a game, guys. Have fun. Okay, so that's one of the main, as you can tell, that was one of my main spiels that took up most of the episode, that people can be jerks. The second is, of course, apart from availability and people being rude, is that Airsoft arenas are not open all the time. If you get a hankering to play Airsoft during the week, most likely, where I live especially, you're not going to be able to play. Many of the Airsoft fields here are either cross between paintball and Airsoft, so they have that scheduling, and it's only on the weekends or on the third Sunday of every weekend or something like that. So the availability for Airsoft arenas really sucks, because a lot of the time it'll be like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I'm like, man, I'd like to play some Airsoft right now. Too bad I have to wait till Friday or Saturday or Sunday to play, and that really blows because it's the availability really is pretty crappy unless you live in California or something like that, where I've heard that quite a bit of people play. That being said, if you do live in a big city and you're as old as I am, not everybody has time because they have jobs to go out and just play during the day. It's just not as simple when you get older. Now, if you have a lot of friends that play Airsoft and you're younger, you're in luck because you and your buddies can just get out of school or do your thing during spring break or summer and just go out and play as much as you want till your heart's content. But, of course, since Airsoft is newer to my generation, considering, there's not as many that play, so it is a little crappy for me, considering that, I love the game, and there just isn't a lot of people that play anymore. I'm trying to get a lot of my friends and a lot of the people I know to play it, and it seems to be enticing them quite a bit. The problem is just getting that push. I've seen many people that have never played the game, really apprehensive about played a game, and just fell in love, because when you're in love, you want to tell the world. That being said, the game is very fun, it's very active, it's a great thing to do, but what I would say is, to any Airsoft arena, is just to become a little more available. Now, I know it is a business, and you have to go where the people are, and you have to be available when the people are available. So, it is kind of crappy that, it is on the weekends, but, it is what it is. You have to take it with a grain of salt. But, yeah, it's a fun little game, but it's only available when, it's convenient, which kind of sucks. That being said, the game is really good. I don't have a lot of complaints for it as far as that goes. Just the attitudes of some people can be really, turn you off to the game, and I've seen it happen before. Like I said, I've seen both sides where people are just in love with the game instantly, and I've seen people just kind of like, I don't really want to play anymore because people are jerks and just kind of ruin it for everybody, and I can understand completely. A lot of people can take it too seriously. They can be totally arrogant, totally mean to people, and it just kind of ruins it for everybody. And nobody, and if you are like that, or you have been in the past like that, please change. Please don't be like that, because I can tell you, you're not helping yourself, you're not helping anybody, and being a total dick. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, if you're, pardon my French, but if you're just being rude and you're being, obnoxious and selfish and just standoffish to everybody, no one's going to want to play with you. No one's going to want to take you seriously. And you're probably not going to be joining a team anytime soon, because nobody wants to deal with somebody who acts like that. So, I mean, these are the things that I don't like about Airsoft. But if you guys have anything else that you don't like about Airsoft, just leave it in the comments below. These are just some of the things that are more prevalent in my life, but I've heard some other things and some horror stories about the guns themselves or something like that. But these are the ones that have been more relevant in my life, more or less. But if you guys have any other comments or anything like that, please leave them in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, and remember to play safe. Thank you for stopping.